Eagle Double G.
What's up, YouTube? This is your friendly neighborhood movie nerd, back to give you guys everything that is going on in the world of movies. And guys, you can yell it to the wind, you can tell it to your friends, you can tell it to your family, you can tell it to anybody who gives a shit enough to listen. We finally have a good DC movie! Finally! It's about fucking time! So this is my review for Wonder Woman. So just to give you guys a little bit of history about my relationship with the DC Cinematic Universe. I hate Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad, both of them. I don't hate Man of Steel. I think there was potential there for that movie, but then the third act just ruined everything because fuck Zack Snyder. And unfortunately, though, a ton of problems with the cinematic universe are attributed to greedy studio executives trying to cash in on the latest fad and miserably failing at trying to keep up with Marvel. But I do still have to place a lot of the blame. Who am I kidding? I just did place a lot of the blame on Zack Snyder because he is the reason why we keep getting these bland, colorless films with little to no substance and so many metaphors crammed down our throat. But not this time. Finally, DC... They let Zack Snyder go on his break because of his daughter, and that is super tragic, but his filmography, I am pissed that he's been fucking up this universe, and Warner Brothers finally had the smart to say, step away, Zack, we're putting somebody new in the chair, and this time we're staying hands-off and gonna let them do what they want to do. And what do you know? We actually got a good movie! So Wonder Woman is the origin story about Princess Diana, the daughter of Hippolyta, who was grown up on the island of Themyscira her entire life. Themyscira is an island that is home to the Amazons, these warrior women from Greek mythology who have been on this island separated from the rest of the world by a magical veil. Diana herself is the only girl on the island, which is home to the Amazons. These badass warrior women, as I said before. She also happens to be the demigod daughter of Zeus and therefore is destined to one day rid the world of Ares, the god of war and her half-brother, and the reason for why mankind delights in ripping each other's throats out. However, when Allied soldier Steve Trevor crash lands on her island, Diana soon realizes that there was a whole big brand new world out there for her to experience. But unfortunately, the world also happens to be going through World War I at the moment, but that's not going to stop Diana from becoming the badass female heroine that we all know she's destined to become. First off, can we just give a shout out to that Wonder Woman score? Junkie XL, play it. Really outdone yourself this time. I really have to give you credit for that. But seriously, guys, I wasn't kidding. DC and Warner Brothers have finally made a good movie. In this cinematic universe, not counting the Dark Knight films, because those were different, Warner Brothers was in a different place at that time. But I mean, a really good movie. The action is great, the set pieces are fantastic, the characters are well developed, the writing is good for the most part. It's almost like Warner Brothers executives actually sat down and said, you know what? Maybe if we want people to pay money to see our movies, we should try and let this person who actually knows how to make movies, make a movie. All joking aside, I really do appreciate the Warner Brothers executives actually having some faith in their director for once and letting her make the movie that she wanted to make, and Patty Jenkins does a great job with that direction. For the first time in a DC movie, besides the fact that we actually have a woman directing a superhero movie, we get color. And you know what? It makes the movie look great. It makes the movie pop. It makes certain set pieces stand out and memorable, because guess what? When everything is bland and black and gray, you can't make out any of the finer details in something, and therefore, you can't appreciate it as much. Look, I'm not gonna lie, some of my least favorite parts of the movie were on Themyscira because it just felt like a lot of bland setup and exposition. The fight scenes were awesome though when they threw down, that was great. Also, the Amazons themselves, chiefly Hippolyta, that's Diana's mother, played by Connie Nielsen, and her aunt Antiope, played by Robin Wright, both really great in the role, really great at playing badass warrior women and leading this warrior tribe to kick some serious Axis ass. But besides the action and the set pieces, it's really the character development that drives this movie, and let me tell you, Gal Gadot has been getting better and better ever since she popped up in those Fast and Furious movies, and to see where she has come now, both as an actress and a celebrity, she is great in this movie, and she knocks it out of the park. But honestly, the movie would not be as good as it was with just Diana in it. Her counterpart, Colonel Steve Trevor, portrayed by Chris Pine. This is probably my favorite Chris Pine performance. I liked him a lot in Hell or High Water, but I never really bought him as Captain Kirk. But he was really good in this movie as Colonel Steve Trevor because he was aware that he wasn't a really good guy. He was just a man trying to get his mission done. And I think that's one of the reasons why he clicked so well with Diana, because Diana had this one eye on the mission, and it really made their chemistry work and pop, and you really, really enjoyed it together. It's one of the first times in a long time that I've seen romance in a superhero movie that didn't annoy me. Flaws? the villains, no surprise there. I mean, when was the last time we got a great, memorable superhero villain? Am I right? But you've got the typical generic evil German villains, General Ludendorff, played by Danny Huston, and his evil scientist sidekick, Dr. Poison. Yes, that's an actual name in this movie, Dr. Poison. They're both hilariously bad, but the main bad guy, Diana's half-brother, Ares, the god of war, there's supposed to be this big giant twist around his character where they sort of copy Disney really much and pull a bait and switch where they make you think that Danny Houston is going to be Ares, but then it turns out to be somebody else. I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. But the point being, once Ares finally revealed himself and they threw down, it was really just a giant schlocky CG fest that looked right out of a video game, which sucks because up to that point the movie had looked really grounded and the action scenes were really great and I was really invested in them. So third act was shit, and also I will say I did get some hilarious moments out of Danny Houston, particularly when he sniffs that magical cocaine and his face goes all blue, and then when him and Dr. Poison laugh like James Bond villains after he tosses the grenade into the German council meeting or whatever, and they laugh hysterically. That was great. Overall, I really appreciated the period piece aesthetic and how that made the scope feel a lot smaller and more personal, and Diana herself is written so well that audience members can finally begin to see that she is a great character, rather than just relying on nostalgic love of her comic book. A really nice, refreshing take on the superhero genre, one of the best origin stories I've seen in a long time, probably the best since X-Men First Class, and really, the movie that the DCU EU really should have started with. What a plot twist that would have been. Talk about upstaging Marvel if they had done that shit. This movie gets 7 out of 10 stars for me. Guys, this movie was great. Please go see it. Please get studios to start making more movies like this and Logan, and stay away from all the CG. It is not needed. That shit went out the door with Avengers, the shitty CG third act. Do something better with your third acts, because you're making good movies, just the last acts are never good. So that's it. That's the review for Wonder Woman. Tell me what you guys thought in the comments below. Make sure you click that like button and that subscribe button. Follow me on the Twitter at Movie Nerd Review. Also head on over to the website, movienerdreviews.com. That's it. I will see you guys next time.